So the other day I was looking at a video on Instagram, and basically it was something that happened inside of a church. I don't recall where it was right now, but someone came into the church in the middle of the mass. It was a Catholic church, and proceeded to roll out a prayer mat right next to the pulpit and start praying, kneeling and all of this on the prayer mat, right? So because I've always talked about my targeting experience, especially since I live in the Mediterranean, I always have a different viewpoint of some of the things that are going on, especially when it comes to racial topics out here. And obviously the fact that he got on the prayer mat and he did this, it was obviously meant to be provocative, right? To get under people's skin, because he could have, I was reading the comments and someone was like, oh, well, it's not a big deal, he was praying too, but like he could have done it towards the back, not next to the pulpit. And then you had a bunch of other comments where people were actually just saying just a lot of like racist comments and all of that, right? And I just think about how the Matrix works, and I've explained it many times, that the Matrix uses the construct of race and the construct of a lot of different other things, depending where you are, what part of the world you are, in order to promote hatred and also to distract you, okay? So I'm going to give you an example of how the Matrix works, because people need to understand we are not fighting flesh and blood. We are fighting against principality. We're in a very serious spiritual war right now. So imagine this guy, based on my theory of NPCs and everything, and parasitic entities that are possessing them because, they're like walking empty vessels, right? So imagine this guy, okay? Imagine he's possessed by some kind of parasitic entity, and he chose to do that, right? And it's meant to cause you to, obviously get upset. So consider that you're in a church and there are 100 people in there. And obviously if there are 100 people in there, not all of them are going to have souls. Most likely you will also be surrounded by some that are parasitic, believe it or not. So imagine your homegirl is the one that's parasitic, and she's sitting next to you in the church when all of this is going on. And she starts filling your ear and telling you like, oh my gosh, it's always the same people, look what he's doing, and this happened to me, and they did this, and she starts to fill your ear. But unbeknownst to you, she's parasitic. Just like the man who's provoking everyone in the church by doing this, right? So they're technically working on the same team. She might be a different color, a different age, whatever, and they are working on the same team. And the goal for them both is to inspire hatred in you and to create the illusion in you that can bring their narrative to life. Because you see, the parasites or these entities or whatever they are, they create the narrative. They can try to push the narrative, but they can't bring it into effect unless you believe it, unless your energy actually creates fuels the belief. They need your energy for you to believe in that illusion and in that narrative for it to work, so that they can shift the energy and make it spread. So imagine that in this church, like I said, if there are 100 people, maybe out of that 100 people, just imagine 15 of you guys have souls, and out of that, maybe 5 of you or 3 of you are actually chosen or have a special calling. But you all might have, or not might, you all will have some kind of handler or some kind of parasitic one somewhere around you. Trust me, if you have a soul, you have either a handler or you have someone who's parasitic in your family or in your group of friends, because they seek us out. They seek us out. So whether it's the friend that's always bringing you the gossip and all of this, you'll start to realize when you start waking up who they are, because you're going to see based on their fruits what they're bringing into your life. So And you can see this also in relationships. Right now, I can pinpoint out of some of the people that I know who are the handlers or parasitics in their lives that make them go crazy. And even if they are in a low vibration, they're probably in a low vibration because they don't understand how to not allow that parasitic entity or that NPC to not influence them or distract them, okay? But in the case of people with souls, we are the ones that can fuel the narrative for real because we have that consciousness and that energy. All of these, the only thing that these parasitics can do is just create the illusion, and that's what they do. And they do it in many ways. Every day when you're watching the news, that's what they promote. Fear, hatred sometimes, and prejudices, okay? They play into that aspect of human nature. Because honestly, the devil isn't really right now pulling new tricks. He's just repeating a lot of the stuff that he always does. He's repeating and looping the same tactics. The difference is now, as people are evolving, hopefully, you are not falling for the same tactics anymore. And this is why the Matrix is broken. The Matrix is broken. And the fact that you can notice a lot of these things is because it's broken. So he's just scrambling right now, trying to repeat the same tactics.